My name's Jasmine Babbitt. We run a homestead, so there's lots of birth going on all the time, so it's kind of just like my thing, I guess. My journey with finding a birth center actually started with my first child 7 years ago, and we did the hypnobirthing, and I did that up in Cache Valley at Ogden Regional, and I had a really great hypnobirthing coach. And the second I stepped into the hospital, the nurse looked at me and said, "You look like a mom who's going to want an epidural. I highly suggest it." And then later to find out, they just had a lot of births that day and they didn't want to deal with it. So that was kind of like my first step into doing things natural. We did end up getting an epidural, which I didn't want, but I felt forced into it. But anyways, long story short, my baby was healthy and that was the most important thing, right? Then here comes my second baby. We had Rosie, my second little girl, during COVID. And I got really bad sick with COVID at 39 weeks and I was actually hospitalized. And everyone was in hazmat suits. It was a terrible experience. They told me I couldn't deliver naturally, that nobody could be with me. I was alone and it was really scary. So after that birth, I told my husband, no more babies. Like, I'm not doing this, I'm traumatized. Then I got pregnant again. And then my best friend, one of my friends had her baby with Loretta and my family birth center community family, I guess you could call it. And so then I kind of opened up my ideas to them. I met Loretta and it felt like home here. I just stepped in here and I said, this is where I want to have my baby. And every idea that I had, every thing that I was worried about and natural, Loretta was on my side and the team just felt like family. I don't know how else to explain it. Just felt like I walked in here and this is the place to have the next baby. So I was scared because my last 2 births were very traumatic for me. And so having this next baby, I was really scared because I tear really bad. And I had a lot of stress going into labor. So that was something that I was still afraid of because if something went wrong and we weren't at the hospital, like what would we do? But luckily all my births were really easy. They came out really fast and I didn't have complications. But you always have that fear of what happens if something goes wrong. But everyone here assured me, like, we only deliver your baby if you're healthy, the baby's healthy, and everything should go really smooth. So, and I'm trying to think of, I didn't really have any other concerns. I was just ready to do it. Here was really good. The staff here, they're just very welcoming, it just feels like you're home. The birth was easy. I called the midwives and I was probably dilated to a 9 by the time I called them. So I labored a lot by myself, actually. I locked myself in my closet and just labored. And then I called them and they reassured me they were on their way and things just kind of happened. And Bryn, the girl who actually ended up delivering my baby, just came in. I was in the bathtub and she rubbed my back, reassured me, and it went really smooth sailing, honestly. The baby just came out really quick and Loretta grabbed the baby, brought it right up to me, and it was like a movie. Perfect birth. Of course. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm like, I could have 10 more. I think my biggest message to all mothers out there is birth is not a medical emergency. I think a lot of people and there's a lot of fear with birth. And I think if you find the right team and the right support and you make sure you're healthy, you're eating correctly, and you're exercising, you shouldn't be afraid to give birth. It should be a beautiful, wonderful experience. So I think that's probably my biggest message to all moms is it doesn't have to be at a hospital if you're healthy. I just want to make that clear, because there's a lot of circumstances where you can't deliver at home, but I think for the majority of women, we can. Another thing, Loretta, they teach you to be in sync with your baby and to listen to your baby, and that's not something that I ever got taught at a hospital. If you're considering having your baby here, I'd say what's the harm in coming and meeting the staff, because once you meet them and you get to be able to do your birth how you want, and I think you'll never look back.